think first, to avoid all misunderstandings, I am horrified at Trump. He is a catastrophe. But what we should never forget, that he is the result of some process. And to cut a long story short, this process is the disintegration, the failure of left democratic establishment. So if we just fight Trump now, it's just what in medicine they call symptomal healing. You take a pill so that it doesn't hurt. But to cure the disease, something has to happen in Democratic Party. And what
I'll come back to that cause in a moment, but I mean, you explain your position just now, but back in November you did say if you were American, you'd vote for Trump because the alternative, Hillary, was even worse. I mean, why did an avowed Marxist come to that conclusion?
It was a very cynical reasoning, because my hope was precisely that if Trump is elected president, everyone will be shocked, horrified at this horror, and something will happen, like Bernie Sanders and so on, in the Democratic Party. It was not the time in any sense for Trump. Trump is horror, not only as to content of what he's doing, but in the form of his activity. He means disintegration of public morality. You can today tell publicly things that if 20 years ago you were to tell them, you would be mocked, proclaimed an idiot. It's a moral disintegration. And although I'm a Marxist, I'm a very serious moralist here. I think that public morality, or rather customs, how we are allowed to speak in public, matter.
I'll come back to that point, but your analysis, though, of what would happen if he won, that Republicans and Democrats would have to go back to basics, have a rethink, that was wrong, wasn't it? Because, yes, it was, because if you look at the Republicans, the Senate with him, the House are with him, the Republicans have rolled over and having their tummy tickled. You have a line of people who said he was beyond the pale, now going into Trump Tower, trying to get a job with him. There's been no rethink.
First, in Republican Party, let's take some time. You will see they're already split on social measures because it's clear that Trump's politics is inconsistent. He has even some leftist elements. He wants so much public investment in collective work projects and so on that no leftist dares to do this. I predict that although he may succeed for some time, but there will be going on disarray in the Republican Party, but especially my hope is, maybe I'm wrong, I admit it, that the Democratic Party will find the strength to redefine itself. Your own British conservative poet, and I like intelligent conservatives, T.S. Eliot, said at some point that sometimes in a religion, the only way to save the orthodoxy is through radical heresy. I think that, again, a certain left liberal orthodoxy, the people who go together in Davos, these people pro-abortion, pro-LGBT, but totally pro-capitalist, this vision embodied by Hillary Clinton, I have nothing against her personally, but we know what I mean, the vision that she stands for is coming to an end.
And you think that? Because, I mean, yes, Davos absolutely. Opening, we've been covering that today. And in a sense, if you look at both Brexit and the Trump victory, it was almost a scream from people that they didn't feel connected with all of those things you've just described that you think are typified by Davos. Do you think, therefore, their influence is on the wane, or simply will it morph into something else to accommodate what has happened?
No, I think the problem is much more serious. In what sense? Noam Chomsky, who doesn't like me, likes to use the expression manufacturing consent. All those unwritten rules of how politics is actually run, the custom, all this broke down now. Something that shouldn't have happened did happen with the election of Trump. But not only this, look at what happened here in the UK with Brexit. Even more important, look what's happening in France with Marine Le Pen. Look what already happened in Poland and so on. And I think...
Do you think that the Brexit in other European countries, there is a danger of it replicating?
No. All these phenomena are deeply ambiguous. The ABC, the basic axiom for me, is that, paradoxically, at least part of the Trump support and Bernie Sanders support draw from the same source of popular rage. And I think the ultimate reason of Trump's success is the failure of the left to capitalize on this popular rage to offer a feasible alternative vision. That's the big problem.
But it's exactly, your analysis is exactly the same when you're talking about Europe, because you talk about...
but it is the same phenomenon.
Yes, Europe being caught between surrendering to global capitalism or surrendering to anti-immigration policies, the populists. But
yes.
What is the way to navigate
only a more
if neither
left.
Of those two options are the correct ones?
Left.
What is the option to go through?
No. But let me be very precise here. I'm not playing some stupid Marxist cards in the sense of radical left, new communist party. No, I'm only thinking about some kind of reinvention of the good old welfare state with a new internationalism. Like, today the left just opposes TIPP and all those international agreements and just wants to return to national sovereignty. I think, no, we need different international agreements.
And yet there's no sign of any of that actually
emerging. Then we are lost.
You talked about...
Then we are lost.
Yeah.
Then you know what the future will be? That we will have, all of us, presidents like Putin, Modi in India. That's the new formula. Fully integrated in global capitalism, but nationalist conservatives at home.
Now, you talked about the way people have talked and Trump and how everything has changed. When it comes to truth, we saw it throughout the campaign with things that were said in the campaign. We even saw it in that interview from Donald Trump yesterday where he talked about 1 million illegal refugees coming into Germany. That's how he described it. When you have truth and fact being used as it is at the moment, what are your concerns about where that takes us?
It is horrible, all this, I admit it. But now I will say something which again may surprise you. Isn't the liberal left engaged in something quite similar in its own version of so-called post-factual approach? Look, I will say something horrible for which you will lynch me probably now, but what's the favorite type of political commentary now for liberal leftists? Jon Stewart, John Oliver, and so on. This kind of a half-joking, very arrogant comic commentaries, and so on and so on. This is the ultimate failure of the left for me. This patronizing, making fun of the ordinary people.
Talking of making fun of ordinary people, I used that quote earlier. You have said before 99% of people are boring idiots. I mean, I know which category I fall into. My wife and my editor tells me that every day. But which category do you think you fall into, the 1% or the 99%?
No. I'm here very realistic. For me, 99% are boring idiots. For other people, I may be part of those 99%, but you know what was my intention behind this? I hate this liberal multicultural pressure. No, if you really try to understand another people, you will see that they are not boring. No, why this pressure? For me, true multicultural tolerance is, I don't understand you, you don't understand me. Can't we nonetheless be nice and kind to each other? The difficult thing is for me to tolerate you in your difference, not trying to swallow you to understand you.
Briefest thing, we've literally got no time. I read an article saying that you and Trump are actually quite similar, both provocative, eminently quotable, but strip it away, and you're actually quite similar. Does that bring you out in a cold sweat? One sentence?
You see, this is, no, because this is what I'm criticizing. This is the left post-factualism. I write a book of 1,000 pages about Hegel. Nobody counts that.